All right, Alex Bassett,
Here.
Daniel Grisco,
Here.
Meredith Hines,
Here.
Bill Heisen, yeah, Eileen Morse,
Here.
Eddie Payne,
Yep.
and Mayor.
Okay, we'll stand and have our pledge of allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Folks, get seated and we'll move on. Before we ask for approval of the agenda, if anybody has to change the agenda. Hearing none, I would ask for a motion to consent calendar. Is the approval of the agenda, the approval of the minutes.
Alex, yes, I got. We're gonna talk about the Parks and Rec. I don't know, I haven't read through it. Is it on here?
Well, I was going to do that at the.
I was gonna ask Mr. Heisen just to talk about it a
Yeah.
little bit.
Yeah, I'd like, and then make a motion to get that set up after that, sure.
Yeah, which is fine. That'll just be, that'll be in the category of anything else.
Right.
All right,
Then I move to approve the agenda.
is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
No.
Aye.
And all opposed? Passes, nobody from the public is here at the moment, so we will pick on number 3. Only thing I needed to add to what I said the other night at the work session was, I had a second, Chamber of Commerce board meeting at the end of the week, because we didn't cover everything in the first one. And I wanted to remind everyone again, as a member of the council, you are also a member of the Chamber of Commerce. And next Thursday, the 28th at 5:30 is the revitalization of the annual chamber dinner. This time it will be underneath the pavilion. And Lou from the brewery is catering it. It'll be some sort of pasta, salad, and bread dishes. So 5:30 for social, 6 o'clock for the dinner. That's under the pavilion. And then I just had several thank yous to Nancy Hoggair and I this afternoon. I did mostly standing around. Got this new screen up, got the cameras adjusted and the audio and when the speaker is over here, it really shows up well. So thanks to Nancy for her expertise in that. Wanted to thank Mrs. Payne for the beautification of the council chambers. Let's put it that way.
Yes.
It's really nice to hear.
Bravo.
Yes. Thank Meredith for all the extra hours she's been putting in, helping get this paperwork, that had been overlooked because of just being busy. That up in order. And, I don't know how many of you know Alex Stone, and he's with the group called the James River Good Works Group, and they're the ones put on the, Preacher's Written Small thing. On Sunday the 10th at the pavilion where it had all the different rescue and welfare groups around us there. It's really nice and well attended event. So that is my. And now for committee reports, we can start on the end of this set. Thank you report.
ARB has approved Kevin Quick's permit and I think it was unanimous, as far as I can remember. The only, so that's cleared to 3. Council will obviously discuss if we want to move on with 1, 2, or 3, we can pick out the details there, but we found precedent for historical similarity on Jefferson Street. A lot of those smaller houses down there look like that. The only stipulation I think we put on, and you can correct me if I'm wrong here, was the skirting around the bottom.
And porch, we picked a specific model
Yes.
that includes a porch.
Oh, that's
The
right.
APU model is similar to this.
And that's the model that has been presented before the council.
So in other words, the ARB said it's okay.
Good to go.
All right, that's good. Anything else?
That's it. Oh, all right, keep on. We did have a resignation in ARB. Austin is moving on. Just can't find the time to commit anymore. So if you know anybody that wants to volunteer, I think it has to be a town resident though.
Yes, we're talking, there's some strict stipulations.
With me on there now, I don't know about that. Because I think it was. No, because Zach was, and I'm
we could get a town. I have to look through the stipulations, a little bit tricky. Last time we had a resignation, we had to shuffle people around. Legally to adhere to the ARB, because there's town resident requirements and also architect requirements for the ARB. But we have an architect, right? I'm a licensed architect right now. But I would reach out to town residents, anybody who's interested in joining that fifth slot, for ARB.
So you could have one person outside the town, is that what you're saying?
Two, I think. You have 3 members.
I think so.
So we have,
We have two.
Two outside of town
members, including the architect.
so we have two outside, so it has to be town.
And yes, I'll
Okay.
leave it at that.
All right, thank you, Mr. Briscoe, anything?
Mr. Mayor, I think the main thing I would say would be, we did have a lengthy conversation in the planning commission and a robust presentation in the town council meeting about the planning document for the comprehensive plan, and I would just suggest that for the public, there is an ongoing survey for people to fill out. If you've not done so yet, we'd love to have your input as a town. Please find it online, find it here, find it in many different places, but take part if you can.
And those are just for town people, right?
Well, it
But it's
can
been
be,
downstairs anyway.
it can be for anybody, but there's different places it
Oh, okay.
goes on the survey.
Okay,
But we would love to have as many town people as possible.
right. That's most important.
Just for the planning commissions, just so they'll know, I talked to several people at the, farmers market Saturday, that couldn't get the QR code to work. And, Javier said there were some problems, but I think we got it straightened out now.
Yeah, Lincoln texted me on Saturday, we'll work through it, but it's been working now, so. I told the chamber who's been helping me with, chamber president has been helping me with outreach also to keep sharing it. Because they noticed also on Saturday, so a little bit of hiccup.
And just to comment to council, there's kind of a separation, there's like this data is from non-residents versus this data is from residents, so it can go either way.
And he mentioned some special meetings. And
Yes.
can we post those downstairs? I think they're on the, you gotta look for them, but I think they're on the website, but
I put them
I
on,
know there's one for growth and there's one for
Housing.
housing and walking, and it'd be good to have a little list on the bulletin board downstairs, or really on the website, so it's be front and center, so people know that, hey, we got some special meetings. Or we could post it at the library,
I was gonna tomorrow, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I was gonna be here tomorrow doing some stuff. And one of the things, now that I've discovered that great paper that we were printing the budget on the other day, I was thinking of posting any place that has a message board, an actual message board, not a message board.
Post office.
The post office,
That'd be
the
great.
library, dates, and actually, instead of making it like 8.5 by 11,
that'd be great.
making it big, kind of like a
Yeah.
poster.
Maybe that can be the first pamphlet on our kiosks.
And exactly,
Probably
just
on your
and
main.
post them,
That'd be interesting, yeah.
print out
Right,
5 or
that'd be
6.
good.
Yeah,
five places.
that's a great idea, Meredith.
And maybe also, some sort of notice somewhere too, that there are surveys available at the town office. That
If they wanna be.
Papers.
right, right.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think that's important.
If we have money in the budget, I don't think it would be that much, but I think it would help us get a bigger response to the survey. If I took this QR code and posted it up at Ames, and if somebody comes in and scans it right there,
Right.
takes the survey and can show us that completed the survey, like $1 off your order, or free small coffee, or kind of like bribe people to
Yeah, it's great.
actually do it right then and there.
Mhm.
I don't think it would be that many people, but it
Incentivize.
might be like 30 or 40
Yeah.
people, or it might be worth that $30 to $40 to get a broader
Yeah.
range of responses.
Mhm.
I don't know what that would fall under as far as our budget goes, even if we wanted to say the first 30 people to do it, get some free coffee, so that it doesn't,
Go over that, yeah.
whatever.
Well,
Anything else to report? Meredith?
I've talked to a couple people just about Founder's Day celebration. So it looks like so far. In the very early stages of planning, it's, not gonna be for another year. But it looks like what we're hoping for is like a little 15-minute skit, not a skit, but like a play almost that might run about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock break, at Victory Hall. Vendors and food trucks, something along the same lines as the highlight tours, in addition to the skit that's gonna be at Victory Hall, so that's kind of, people are very excited and surprisingly excited to help with it, so sometimes it's really hard to get volunteers, so this has been
We can,
an easy thing to get volunteers for, so.
we can get some volunteers from the charity.
Awesome. Well, and I wanted to talk to people before, as far as the meeting goes with all the different groups coming together, all that's happened so far is a pretty much unanimous response from people of yes, I would be interested in this, and we haven't got anywhere from it yet. But I wanted to talk to people before that meeting, because I really wanted to sound self-serving, like, hey, let's have this big meeting and see who can help other people with what, and then be like, by the way, I have this huge project that I'd like you all to help me with, but hopefully, yeah, when we have. Yeah.
All right. Anything else?
That's it.
Questions?
All right, well, we've been busy, we've got a lot of issues, but we're making some headway on a lot of things. As you know, the maintenance is improving and Alex has been a part of that, Kevin. And next month, we're looking at, and we want everybody's input of things that need to be done after mowing season. So, we want that from the public and from the town council, or whatever you see in the town that it can be done. You'll have a lot more free time from November to whatever, April. So those kind of things, we want to get a list of those, painting and staining or cleaning or whatever. Next, we looked at the website a little bit. We're going to do that again next month. And again, you want any input, any updates for the website, corrections or changes or ideas. Because it's not fully being utilized right now. They mentioned getting town maps on there and things like that, but so we're looking at coming up with ideas for that. We did talk about some high quality governance rules, and felt it was like a little bit too cumbersome right now about ways of communicating within our group ourselves. Of course, I do think we need some norms, and one of them I think we've already brought up is if you're not going to be at a meeting, make sure you let everybody know you're not going to be at the meeting in advance. So we have a quorum and that kind of thing, but just about communicating an upfront communication. And then we also we're looking at we looked at some committees, and we're going to look at a second committee. I'll bring that up now. It's the emergency preparation committee. We're going to review that next time, and we got some information about that. And then we looked at the Parks and Rec and sent everybody what that is, and that's basically the town will plan and oversee cleanup, repair, improvements of all the town parks, make recommendations on coordination, efficiency, safety, and quality of local parks and recreation facilities and programs, and work closely with citizens to understand the needs and desires related to parks and recreation. And with that, we'll work with volunteers, and we would like to welcome any members from, volunteer groups like SCAN or the hiking club. The committee felt that this should be a town responsibility and overseen by the town and coordinated and supervised by the town. So with that in mind, I'd like to go ahead and put a motion to create the Parks and Rec Committee responsible for public lands owned by the town of Scottsville. So that's my motion.
I'll second that motion.
Any discussion on that motion?
Yes. What is your kind of vision with this is how you want this to play out, I guess it's bad phrasing, but do you want to approve this tonight?
Yes, and then we can-
start it, or do you wanna approve it and then we can sit down at a work session?
Well, I think we need to approve and get it going, and then we could recruit members for that. I think that was the idea, recruit members, and some people already. Like this hiking group in Scan, I think might be interested too, and to get some people who are interested in parks. And we'll take a couple from each if they want, and then if anybody on this. On town council wants to go out, I'll be on it. I guess if somebody wants to be a liaison, they could, where I could be, but I think we need to get it off the ground and really start working on planning a lot of the things. And as I sent out to a few people, I think the first order of business is really to have some basic rules for the park, the Van Cleef particularly. But that would be one of the first things we would want to have some, because those kiosks are there, and I've taken pictures of other parks and they have rules, when they're closed at dusk and they no drinking and some things about, and we can look at them, we can approve them here, but dogs, vehicles, those kind of things, and I think that would be the first thing. But I think there's a lot of issues with all the parks that it'd be good to have meeting periodically about looking at all the issues with parks. But anyway, that's my feeling, is we should go ahead and get it approved and then and start and try to have a meeting.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about it before, but having rules like that posted, I think takes a lot of liability
Yeah,
off of us.
yeah. Well, they have them every place they've gone. They got pictures, they got it at Walnut, they got it at Totier, they have it at a few other parks, and they don't have that.
One of the things that we could, there's already a big list of rules to the park, so
There you go.
they exist, it's just a matter of. And then.
Putting them out. We could put them out, yeah, if we got them, where are they on the master plan, those rules?
I think they're in the code, I think.
Okay, well, yeah, send them to me, or send them to.
You can find them.
Lately, the town code on parks is basically about loud noise.
Yeah,
Everything's about loud noise in parks, it doesn't get into detail, so you need to come up with some.
Yeah.
Basic.
well, I could send them to everybody and let them look at what Elmont has and what the other places have, but.
So it's been moved and seconded, any further discussion?
Well, are we approving just the concept? Are we approving the charter? Are we approving
The term.
the charter? Okay,
And then
This was actually talked about last spring, and it was tabled. That was with the financial committee and a few others, but this one was.
so, and it's
We never
the charter
followed through.
that I put out at the work session. Which charter, is there different?
The charter of all the park.
Of all the committees?
Yeah, all the committees.
And
Some
then
are
each
inactive.
committee had its own sort of,
No, each committee has their own little way of operating, yeah.
no, I thought each of them, so there was a large charter that set out all the committees that the town has. And then each committee has, these are the things that are in our scope,
Oh,
right?
yeah, some of the things that you said, you wrote some things down.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that'll be part of, we're not.
So is that
we're not
part of what
approving
we're
that.
approving?
No.
We're not approving that.
Not approving
Okay,
that.
so we're
That-
just
the
approving
committee would go
that the
through
committee is added to the charter of committees for the town.
Right, the committee
Okay.
can look at those little.
Talk about
Yeah,
But as council.
no, I just want to be clear. I don't,
As Councilman Briscoe points out. Every now and then, which I think is wise, a lot of these things need a champion, need somebody to kind of. Guide them, I'm assuming that's gonna be you unless anybody else wants.
Well, I really love the parks, and I went there today, I go almost every week to the Van Cleef. And I also go to Canal Basin sometimes too, but I do think, and I do have concerns about. Having some basic guidelines of parks throughout the town, because there's two other parks, there's two other possible parks that we're gonna be having, the one at the Bird Street. And then there's gonna be a park at perhaps, or at least a trail at the wetlands area. So those are parks that, can be incorporated in there too, but I mean, the main thing is to coordinate that so that somebody's not going into and cutting trees or making trails without permission and without oversight. That was the main idea.
All right,
But yeah, I mean, I'll do it, but I don't have to be the liaison. I want somebody else to do that. I like to get a committee though. So we, But I will, but I don't want to, of course, I can't be a chairman, but we'll have to get that. But, anyway,
Any further comments? And move to seconded and discuss. All for the vote.
Alex.
Yes.
Dan Driscoll.
Yeah.
Meredith Hines,
Yes.
Bill Heisen,
yes,
Eileen Morris,
Yes,
Eddie Bain.
Yes,
Motion passed.
Thank you. I think you should be the liaison because
we should put on that.
it's your concept and you want
Well-
to run right.
Right, it wasn't mine, it was the government services way back, but
Still, if you're government services,
Right.
you
Right.
keep an eye on things, to make sure it's the way it's set up to work, it works the way it's set up. So,
so do we need to? Motion for that too?
Now, let's do the charter. I guess.
let's get it.
Yeah.
started first.
Get
Okay,
the, get the charter together and put the liaison and whoever is on it and the scope of work. And then we can look at the work session
Okay,
and then vote at the next session, the charter for the committee. That's my suggestion.
Morris, do you have anything? Anything?
No, Bill mentioned the emergency preparedness committee. I had submitted that to you all. I know you probably haven't had a lot of time to look at that. I would like to discuss that at the next work session in more detail with you. And I would like to potentially take a vote on that at the next formal session. So please be prepared to speak to that. And Javier, if you could add that to our formal agenda. Yeah, appreciate that.
and the government service to look at it, and you know.
And it's good. If you have input
Yeah.
ahead of time, then send it.
And just know that they'll. It'll be just really the basic kind of simplified version of what you did, you know, about what's that. So if you have ideas about that, like this is very simplified. It's not in the detail of everything it does.
Yeah,
that's-
well, I mean,
that's
there's
why we
different
don't-
approaches,
Right.
so.
The title of the committee, just for my notes. Yeah.
I think it's
Oh, no,
emergency preparedness.
Yeah, yeah, I think it's just EPC as
Jack
an
Jack
acronym.
could be the chairperson.
Anything else?
Be on the committee anyway.
Sure. Hey, you got anything?
no,
Right, okay. Move on to item 7, and that is special use permit, for the Washington Stone Office. Mr. Town Administrator, you just want to run over it one more time, just so everybody knows what we're voting on.
Yeah, so we have under discussion and for consideration possible action, a special use permit for 190 Poplar Street, for special use for tourist lodging. This is Kevin Quick's property. The underlying, zoning is village residential. We have an SUP to allow, tourist lodging on the site. Back May 1st, 2023, planning commission approved, sent a recommendation to town council for the special use permit with a recommendation for a condition of maximum of 3 units. And that the special use holds to the general layout that was presented to planning commission. That same layout was presented to town council and also to ARB. Last week, 14th, the architectural review board approved a certificate of appropriateness for the same property. With the condition of using the Lakeview model, since it has a porch and that kind of adheres to aesthetics within town, the bungalows that are down by Jefferson Street. And then a skirt. Today is the 18th of September, and as staff, I want to clarify that I think all questions. Well, I know all questions from staff have been answered around the property. The only thing I could recommend as a boilerplate that I received advice from our previous interim town administrator is just include in the motion that it would adhere to town, county, state, and federal government regulations, which feels pretty boilerplate and not too much of a burden on the applicant. But as staff, I feel comfortable with any action, and I would even recommend action to move forward with a special use permit. The one thing I would suggest is discussion for town council, since it has been a while. And to discuss any conditions that you feel are reasonable to impose on the SUP. But beyond that, that's kind of the quick summary I have from the last month, I guess I would say.
Javier, I have a question for you. It's my understanding that once an SUP is approved,
Mhm.
if the conditions by which that has been approved are not met. So for instance, if the skirting didn't go up or the porch model didn't get adhered to, which I'm not expecting, but this is more of a question in general.
Mhm.
Can that SUP then be revoked?
Yeah, there's a process.
Okay.
I'm looking through the code. I would talk to Jim about it. Most of it is, I think most cases is you get something rezoned and then you really don't add a period on it. You know, you get rezoned for a different kind of use than the underlying zoning. But we have, with our SUP and the conditions you adhere, I as staff also have some enforcement authority too, so that helps me out in that aspect.
So it is possible then to revoke the SUP.
Yeah.
And this is more about just a question in general. It just happens to come up for this specific instance. I do not expect anything to happen, but
And I,
someone has brought it up before as I was talking on the street and I wasn't clear what the rules were about that.
and I would be more than happy to reach out to our attorney too, because I think some of it is questions about feasibility.
Well, could you take that as an action item to say if the conditions of any SUP are not met, what are the actions that can be taken to potentially revoke the SUP? And that SUP is good for 5 years, correct?
with transient lodging, yes.
Transient lodging, okay.
So the SUP is, the transient lodging is a different.
Sorry, for
That's
tourists.
5 years, but
Tourists.
the SUP is
SUP
basically
should
based
be,
on the transient lodging, right? So
Tourist lodging.
Tourist lodging, yeah. So the tourist lodging is 5 years, but the SUP is, there's no limitation on SUP.
We have in our code a 5-year renewal on SUPs.
Oh, there is, okay,
Tourist lodging.
okay.
okay. I
For
didn't-
tourist lodging only, and the other SUPs travel with the property, correct? Yes, okay.
So I have a question, if it's only good for 5 years, what? It's a multi-part question. What is the renewal process?
Yeah.
Is it kind of like a lease with the landlord where if the lease doesn't give 90 days, or the landlord doesn't give 90 days notice, or the tenant doesn't give 90 days notice, it's just the assumption that the lease will be renewed? Or do they have to go through the whole SUP process again?
So that is an interesting question. So I've been working with Meredith and we can update the rest of the council. We were looking through to see what the previous process was for it.
Mhm.
And administratively, I'm not clear yet
Yeah.
what process we use for renewals.
Especially because we haven't, I went through the file, I couldn't find any that were more than 5 years old.
I see.
So
We haven't gotten
we
there
haven't
yet.
hit that.
Well, it's good you're in front of it then, because we will hit that soon, I'm
Because,
sure.
yeah, I've heard we have 12 of them, so it'd be good to know all of them and. they're
I
good.
did, I did,
And they're good.
I
And they're good.
should have brought that with me here, but I will email.
You got 'em, okay.
I do have a list of
Oh, great.
the addresses and the owners of all the
And the dates they were approved?
Airbnbs and, yeah.
Oh, great.
The second part of my question is, in a case like Mr. Quick's, where there are the 3 little
Mhm.
mobile units that are gonna be put up. If it does not get renewed and then it turns over to, just village residential again, thank you very much. Is there a requirement for him to remove those structures, or could he say these are now just residential structures, and if somebody wants to move into them, I'll charge them $500 a month?
They don't meet the criteria
Yeah.
of residential structure.
Don't- I get that, but didn't renew in 5 years, he would then be obligated to remove those structures
Right.
from the property.
And being charitable to Kevin, he has expressed in multiple meetings that he would be more than comfortable with removing.
Right.
that. Planning
Right.
Commission also discussed a little bit of it as a condition. But it just depends on the council's
Well,
discretion, I guess.
I think it should be, I'm sorry, Alex, go ahead. I think it should be a condition. I mean, Kevin has obviously stated that he would remove them if the business model didn't work out or anything else happened. But I don't see any harm in just stating it explicitly.
Yeah.
Yeah, if the SUP is not renewed either from that side or something happens with the business model, then the units are to be removed. I mean, that's something simple like that. Does that sound reasonable to everyone?
I would say contingent on one of the parties following up, if it expires and no one kind of jumps on it.
Right,
Okay, obviously, this process takes a little while. So
Yeah.
I don't want to be like, all right, pull those out of there, and if we approve it again, you can bring them back up.
Yeah.
yeah. Now it has to be
It's
reasonable.
hard to speak.
Yeah,
for
it's a
the-
2-month lapse or something.
It's hard to speak for the council in the future, obviously.
Mhm.
We don't know who that will be. But should we have some sort of, if you're reapplying after 5 years, waiving a fee? I don't know if anyone's interested in that.
For
Seems like a good
for all,
chunk of
for
money.
all Airbnbs? I mean, for all the,
Maybe,
Uh,
yeah,
all responses?
I don't,
Is there is there a huge revenue impact on?
We could,
Well,
get a little money out of it, let's, keep a fee going.
our zoning just have a short paragraph that we renew, but it doesn't have any details that kind of point towards how you would administrate it.
And the cost and all that.
Yeah, and then, there's no discussion of cost or fees, it isn't in our fee structure. Our fee structure has a special use permit on it. So I couldn't,
might be a conversation.
Yeah.
I would come back at a work session. with
5
all
years.
this.
Yeah, that should be part of the process, whether there's a fee or not, so we should include that as a line item in next work session, and maybe you can get with Mr. Bowling and get some information on that.
The other thing I would say is, what do we want to decide quantity wise?
Yeah.
Are we okay with 3? ARB was fine with it.
Can we do one at a time? I wondered if we could.
You
say
would like-
one, and then
I
after
thought
we
that's what's his plan.
After a year, we could,
Well,
say, okay, it's working out.
Yeah.
I don't think you can put a time frame on it though, right?
No.
Can we- can we-
Do whatever we want with it.
Okay, we can do it this year.
Well, I don't know.
We can.
I understand that we can. I don't
You don't like-
see the need to do that, to over-regulate that. I mean, if
Right.
he's, it's my understanding he was gonna put one on, see if it worked, and then put a subsequent on if that one
And
was
then after 5
successful.
years, we could see if it.
Yeah,
really
and then he'll have a better sense of, does that business model work in town? Is it profitable for him? And we'll have a better sense of what that means for the town in general, and in terms of tourist lodging.
And I keep throwing things on this, but are we sure that the phrasing that Eddie came up with, the classification that you found is what's on the special use permit that we're gonna approve or not approve?
I would state the motion as 3-part or park model RV units. At whatever amount, just so it's clear in the motion,
Okay.
and that would make it easier that would clear it up for enforcement and for your functions.
I think what you're saying too is, since he's requested the ability to do 3, let's allow him to do 3. Yeah.
Exactly.
Alex, let me ask you, you said the ARB approved, what did they exactly approve? The look of those nice things or the how?
Yeah,
What exactly is there?
we found that they were in accordance with the historical look and
The
the
horse
of the town, and that they wouldn't be violating any of the
Okay.
Guidelines we have.
And
guidelines
so
that
they're-
we have laid out.
But is each one different or are they all the same?
No, so.
They're all the same?
They're all 3 gonna be the same.
Oh, they're all gonna be the same, okay.
They could have been
When I
different.
saw those pictures, I
Which
thought
Kevin
they
was
were
fine
three
with.
different. So they're all gonna be cruise. And what about as far as like the distance between them and parking and stuff? Did you look at that at all? Is that a concern? Cause that's
We
a
didn't
tight area.
really dig into that, they probably will be pretty close, cause I went up, myself and Jack went up to the field with Kevin, had him stand on the back of his truck where they were gonna be, and we came in. While he was doing that, came in from East Main, and there's pretty much no visibility
Okay.
from the road. There's a lot of.
Yeah,
magnets
I've been
over
out there a
there,
couple
that
times,
cover
yeah.
pretty much stays,
Right.
the tree cover that's gonna fall off. The most visible part of them is gonna be coming down. Beside the laundromat, I'm not sure what the road name is, coming down the hill there, you have about a 20-second window where you can see them. And that'll just be one of them, so that was one of the bigger things we dug into as far as spacing. I'm assuming he's gonna stretch them out as far as he
Yeah,
can.
he's gonna try to get some space to put it up. Yeah.
But if you wanna add something into that.
No, I
that's
just
what we can do.
The other question, is he gonna pave the road? Is that a condition or could he agree to that? Is that?
I think it's private, and I think that he's.
Not that road, but the hillside.
I'm not sure.
And is he gonna leave if he's gonna leave the trees, the two big trees that are there? One's a
Well, I
one.
don't know that, I would.
Okay,
assume.
I would think that we'd wanna keep those.
Keep those, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's my only concern is that, it's you don't want them too tight together. You want some space if you're gonna have different people there. We have setbacks that in the rest of all our zoning, so this is kind of getting around the setbacks, I guess. That's
Well,
what special use permit
for
is.
setbacks, I think technically it's even if they were
Yeah,
a foot from each other would be.
Yeah.
Probably compliance to exit that was from public road space, not from,
from each other, not from each other, is that right?
and I can be very off on that, but my understanding was that public road space and ARVs visibility from public.
No, setbacks have more to do with the spacing between the other buildings and establishments.
I don't know. I live on Harrison Street and I feel like if somebody tall
Yeah.
enough, like Mr. Mayor,
Yeah.
came and sat on my porch and kicked his legs out, he
Yeah.
would kick the
Yeah,
house.
right,
next
right,
door.
well, that's the old
So-
time stuff, yeah. Nothing's been done, a lot has been done since in both those houses.
Okay, any other comments?
One quick question. The approvals that. ARB, not the approvals, the conditions, the skirting, the porch, using that one specific model. Do we need to, in our motion to approve this tonight, do we need to add that, or is it enough that ARB set those conditions?
Airbnb set that's that.
Well, I think you
So-
could say as recommended by the.
Okay, perfect.
That would.
Well, then I move we approve the SVP based on the ARB's recommendation.
Is there a second?
I will second that.
And now, is there any further discussion?
In that language, do we need to say this is our read
The park model.
park model, this is the nuclear or?
I think we
Okay, so
should.
that's kind of like what my question was, like, do
Agree
you
is
need
on-
all this stuff in there, or just what
Okay,
ARB
so
said?
read on the permanent.
I believe, right, three
Yeah.
should be on the SSP.
Doesn't hurt saying it during the motion.
Okay,
You could amend the motion.
I would like to amend the motion. I move that we approve the SPP for 3 forest gatherings, park model, the Lancaster log homes that ARB approved.
400 square feet.
Mhm.
Okay. Now, is there a second to that?
Alex, please second.
Okay, now is there any more discussion?
No,
And if we're ready to vote, we'll ask the town administrator to call the roll.
Alex Bassett,
yes.
Dan Driscoll,
Yes.
Meredith Hines,
Yes.
Bill Heisen,
Yes.
Eileen Morse,
yes,
Eddie Bing,
Yes,
motion passes.
Move on to 7B, landscaping.
This is, we spoke briefly on, at our last meeting, at the work session, I said that I would look into. Some edging for where all of this beautiful new mulch went in, but just kind of getting rained out into the sidewalks. You should have the very last page of your packet. I've got 4 different examples. I was very pleasantly surprised because I was personally really pushing for the cement ones, which is the first one in here. I thought it was gonna be considerably more expensive, but it is actually the second least expensive of all of our options. I think it was the one that would last the longest and do the best job of keeping everything in there. But there's a few different options here. That will show. I think that last option in just for the heck of it. I don't think it would do a very good job of keeping the mulch.
Which one,
contained.
which one's the last
The
one?
little plastic fencing
This one here?
looking one.
Yeah, the open
Yeah.
fencing.
Oh, yeah.
I think when it rained, the mulch would just come right through there, so. And it was the most expensive one.
Lowe's has all this stuff in stock, if you just wanna look at them sometime.
Mhm.
Lowe's, you can pick these things up and handle them. I did both sides of my sidewalk from the house to the driveway, and I just use regular pavers. But I'm so, yeah.
Mhm.
And they were like. I think I got 100 of them and it was like. For 45%. It's like, yes, it's looking right now, I bought $2 a piece.
So what we have is 704, I had, Cody measure the
Mhm.
footage around and count how many we have. So what we're gonna need is 740 feet of
Oh, yeah.
the edging.
Well,
Might not, I mean, we might decide that we don't need the edging, I think it would. Make it more attractive, I
I
think
think
it
so.
would benefit from going into the sidewalk, and I think. That would be a lot of busy work we'd be asking Cody to do every time we're going and sweeping it all back in.
We have a bunch of old Victory Hall antique bricks in the back, we don't have enough.
It might be nice to, oh, interesting. We might be able to look at what a little tiny brass plaque costs. And maybe if we do the
Buy a brick.
cement one, replace it with one of these with a little plaque on it saying the original Victory Hall brick.
These are the ones that made it at Foundry over in Buck.
Oh, that's nice.
And we've got a bunch of them. Mine was told when they put the elevator in here, they had to remove some bricks that all got stuck in the back here. There's still a pile of them back there, but there's not enough to do all of this.
Well, it might be good to do a couple of like, that's what I thought around Victory Hall.
One at a time, or a couple at a time, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a great idea.
There's one concern about the bricks of, the real heavy stuff. If it's too high up, it's gonna be hard to, if you park right near, it's gonna be hard to open your door, because sometimes those Lowe's cars get hit that.
I'll put
So,
mine in.
yeah, if it's about 2 inches or
I have about that much
Yeah.
above ground.
that's about all we need,
Then I put gravel
Yeah.
on the sidewalk.
yeah.
We'll have to dig them in.
That slate sidewalk, you slip, because you have to icy, it was dangerous.
Yeah, and you don't want people
Put
falling.
pea gravel on it, you know.
Yeah, 'cause I like this one, but
The original picture, but let me see. The height of all of these, I'll get back to everybody.
I like
don't think
this
We're gonna take, you like the second one?
but the only problem is it's plastic. I like the height of it and the look of it, but
Yeah,
it would
plastic.
work if we had something that was sturdy and it wouldn't fall apart, wasn't flabby, but
All
I
of
don't
the
think,
other
I think it
ones-
shouldn't be very high up,
Yeah,
so.
all of the other ones were I
they're
gave one
pretty
concrete
tall.
example,
They're
and
pretty tall.
3 plastic examples. And there was actually a metal example, but that was
Astronomical.
crazy expensive, so I didn't bother putting that on the list. It was just a follow-up to, take a look, we mentioned last week that we would
That's
look
great.
at it, so if we wanna.
Yeah, that's good.
It's a good suggestion and a good thought, and would make the side of shop look a lot better.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, definitely. You're gonna hold it mulching too.
Of course, we could do, silver brick.
That's what I was thinking. You got 555 pieces you need, and that's the population of Scottsville. Just let everybody sponsor a piece.
Get a little plaque like we do for the Victory Hall
Yeah.
chairs.
Well,
Yeah,
that's what the,
Donated 5, we donated 4.
I've got 3 bricks in the nature museum sidewalk in Newport News.
Oh, really?
yeah.
Interesting.
yeah.
Well, I'm all for that, even if they want to sponsor a Victory Hall brick.
Yeah.
And have. I don't know, I did not know about the Victory Hall bricks, and I'm
Like
very interested in trying to figure out a way now to incorporate them into
in the daylight,
to it.
just running around the corner behind the building.
Okay.
You see the pile. Stack. So, let's, I think everyone should, kind of keep your eyes open, different possibilities and we all together and get some further or see what we can do. Anybody have any else they want to talk about right now? Is our next closed session up to 8:30?
That's what I planned. I planned for us to go a little bit longer.
Let me ask you, Mike, you got any words to do for us this evening?
Not really.
Okay, we
Basically,
really-
on for weekend, he approached me today, asking for classified information. I sent an email to CC Javier and Evelyn about it. I would like all map requests to go through Javier from now on. He's next chairman command for everything for map place on here since town administrator. So if he does approach anybody with any map questions regarding what he wants to accomplish, I cannot release any of my maps as of right now.
We all appreciate the drone picture.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
This interview we're waiting on, second person.
Was that at 8 or 8:30?
8:30.
So let's take a break. We'll be back until,
That,
20 minutes. See what's going on.
charter, the charter that you're proposing, so I can share.
There you go, your hand. Yeah. You can't catch it. Who's on? You can't catch it, Jason. Oh, I think. Very good. Yeah.
I absolutely, you know.
And you want to hear something funny, the other night, it wasn't funny, but it happened. Did you know this recipe?
Yeah. Now, I've rewatched that like 5 times.
Hey, so I just have everything from, I was putting everything all together on GIS sent to you when it's finished.
Because my boys.
Great. And you heard me, we're going to
Yeah.
put
Grew up in
the
Yankee Stadium.
committee agenda on next month and be prepared to vote.
Okay,
Okay,
anything else? Just let me know if you need anything else.
all right, well, let's meet. This week is
I
again
heard.
really busy for me. I was ripping out flooring too. But next
In the
week
barn?
should be better. No, in the house.
The barn drenched out?
For the most part, at least the side that was collapsed, we've gotten
I heard.
propped up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
so let's meet next week, Jack, okay? Get
like I
something on the
said,
calendar.
that's like, just send me a text, let me know when.
Okay.
I can do Wednesdays or next Friday. I can do those 2 days. The rest
All right.
is free.
Apparently that's for me.
That's a good idea. So we're not. Well, we'll find out.
We talk to them.
I had visited a preschool over the weekend, and I tore my medial meniscus in my right leg, and it was so funny because I emailed Eleanor over at the church. Said, I think Amelie's gonna be there, but I'm not gonna be there, and literally within 15 minutes of
Oh,
that,
you're
I got
kidding.
text message from Amelie, I said, no worries. So I texted her, yeah, I don't think you're gonna have childcare this
What's
week.
this, the one that-
The preschool. I was
Oh,
standing up on a chair, getting a bunch of stuff off the top shelf, and my hands were full, so I couldn't. Normally, like, I climb up on chairs all the time, then when I'm getting down, I just hold the back of the chair to kind of steady myself, but my hands were full, so I couldn't do that. And there was a bunch of stuff on the floor that I had already pulled out of the closet. I stepped down and just stepped into all of that. The pop was so loud.
Oh, no.
And they gave me a brace
oh.
and they gave me crutches and both of them stuck, so.
But
But I have an MRI tomorrow. I'm going, that is like all the emergency room, but I'm going to the UVA ortho clinic tomorrow. Workers' comp. Hoping I get a better, the price they gave me, it feels like it's made of paper or something, So I'm hoping I get a good one tomorrow.
Don't see them rolling chairs.
Yeah.
It was a nice solid wood, it was like a kitchen chair, like the
Was it
old
spinning?
school, like 70s kitchen chairs that were like the heavy wood. No, it's just a wood chair. That I stand on all the time, but usually when I Cause we don't have a step stool in the preschool and I'm not very tall, so if I need something off the top shelf, they usually, but I just had my arms full, I was rearranging the whole thing, so I couldn't hold on to the back.
I had a scare on a ladder today on the second floor of the house.
Yeah.
A lot of jobs.
That just gave me like, as soon as you said second floor, I got like.
30 feet
The
off.
leg, just they have different positions for the extended ladder legs. So
Mhm.
on drops on the bottom like an inch. But it readjusted, it was actually way more stable, but the top moved, you know, like a foot, and I'm like, I'm alone. On the back of the house.
That's a scary feeling.
Yeah, that's, you know.
Did you ever fall
No.
off? I have once, but
Yes.
only once.
Yeah, eventually it'll happen.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, we built our house, fell through the second floor, there's no floor, just a joist, right over the 4 ribs.
I could think you that.
And he got stung by a bunch of bees, that's why he fell.
The guy was, they put the paper down and. Don't wait for the paper.
I put it on tentative for Wednesday next week, our meeting.
By then, cause I gotta do state tournament coming up soon, so I gotta start preparing new seasons.
Okay,
It's going to the beach, the first weekend of December.
nice,
I probably get, so it's the only time we get away from here.
nice. Off season, nice and quiet.
I down there, I mean, it's all really busy down there.
Really? Where? Virginia Beach?
I'm playing northeastern. He cleaned all the drainage around town the other day.
Who did?
Cody. I
Okay,
told him the one at corner of West Main and Harrison Street needed the works.
it's blocked.
This
Yeah.
block, block.
Okay.
He did.
Good.
On the bike rack down there at Sweeney
Yeah.
Over, you know.
and whoever is the former.
Somebody
president
hit it,
did.
I bet it.
Done, so he didn't do it correctly. He's been leaning ever since. He did it. Previous maintenance person.
Okay,
You
all right.
You gotta make sure.
One more
Sign-
thing.
Sign is leaning at East Main and
Yeah.
Fair Street. So
Take 10 seconds.
so it's supposed to be like this.
Well, Jack, when you get these things,
I have a
make,
picture of it.
make a list
All right.
and send it,
I will.
okay?
I'm working on that too.
Good,
That's.
that's all.
You can see from Google.
And you know what? Thanks for working so well through chain of command. You've been doing a great
I
job.
just don't know why he wants these. I can't really see any, I can't know.
I hope my note was
It
okay.
was, I haven't heard anything else from him. I told him to go through Javier twice.
Yeah,
I can only
and
give him,
Javier should be in the loop as town administrator anyway,
I
right?
told him, I only sent him, what I sent him the count totals. That's
Mm-hmm.
all I could give him. That's what I told him. And he wants maps.
Yeah, well, for the things that you sign non-disclosure for, you can't give to
I am
anyone,
trying, he's
not even a
bugging me
Javier.
about it.
Who is? Oh, he is?
Yeah.
Mhm.
He said he's a town employee.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
He has to contact the same source that you did and sign
doubt
the
it, so-
same non-disclosure if they'll allow them.
I doubt it.
Yeah. You know, at this point, Jack, you realize you know more about infrastructure than probably anybody else in this town.
It's kind of scary.
It is. The power, the power.
Responsible. So one thing on adding the levy has maps of the other levies built, I'm gonna try and draw that to RGIS too.
Okay, it'll be interesting to see once you get the GIS done.
Yeah, so
what it
he,
looks like.
the only person who has the access to the accountants. Javier, since he's
Okay.
town administrator. Yeah, I'm the only one that he gave us the password to.
Right, okay,
He's the only one that I trust.
okay.
Out of everybody. So,
Well, and he has the authority.
just
For
say
that.
no, yeah,
That's in his purview,
Yeah.
right? So, that's appropriate.
yeah. So we're trying to make it like the county GIS thing, like everything where, so right now I'm working on. All the state resources, that like all the helicopters, fixes, all those will be on one map, so we know where everything's coming from,
Okay,
even including backup. It's not international door case, we have to airlift people for emergencies. I gotta figure that out too.
yeah, there was another train.
Oh, did you hear about the big
Okay.
fire in Verona in Augusta? Island factory called fire.
Really?
It's
Lots
still
of
going.
fires this year.
Let's try.
Crazy.
Let's try.
Is that what it is? And we've also had a lot of rain. there. Not enough.
Not enough.
Do you know where we are?
We're still drought.
It didn't budge as of 2 days ago.
Well, I asked Javier to put that announcement from Albemarle County on the website and he said
He
he,
said if I told him Allen County issues a local emergency, we gotta do it.
right,
That's
yeah,
what
because the
information-
last one was just an ask.
Yeah.
Like, please conserve, right? The next one will be, you
I did talk
must.
to county emergency manager about it. He said that that's the next move to get
Mhm.
things get dramatically worse.
Mhm.
So. Depending on, we should do, my plan is to do like a community input about the preparedness, what people want and needs are,
Mhm.
because I want to promote lockdowns.
Yeah, I think
Because
that's a
when
great
we had the
idea.
Fire down here,
Yes,
they had to break the door.
and I want to go back to that pamphlet, one for business, one for
So.
residents, right?
Has that.
The Lynchburg one. Yeah, but Lynchburg had that, they did their own version. And I know FEMA has it. I think we should do a Scottsville version.
I was trying to save you guys some money.
Well, I mean, we can do it.
I can get Shane, I'm a printer guy in Charleston and stuff for you.
Yeah, Alex does too, so
Yeah.
we can,
You got that.
the printing is not an issue.
Yeah.
It's really just the layout and what we want to do, but I was impressed with the one from
Are
Lynchburg.
you happy I found it? PDF?
I was. Because that's exactly one of the
Excellent.
things, when we started our work together, that was one of the things I was really after, so
I'm glad I didn't finish writing that emergency operation pin. That was a pain, you know what?
really.
The counties already have it updated and ready for me.
Mhm, okay.
We don't have to see, waste my time getting into it.
Yeah, well, Tim Carr was saying that too, but
I don't know.
I don't know, the thing about,
Manhole, so
oh, you did?
south of
The
the
lo-
softball, south of the softball.
Really?
There's two of them there. One's at the baseball field, south, we don't know where that south one goes. And basically I looked down the.
And who owns it,
And
right?
who owns it, but I did find it out, it's still pipe. Including the flood levy maps, the building, I would make a copy of it here, so I take one home,
It's in the map,
it's in the maps.
as long as it's in the map.
If I know, I don't know,
But it'd be nice to know where it goes and who owns it.
I'll think about buying blue chili locator tool. $4,000. We can walk around Scottsville. Figure out what shit. And market.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
That's the next one. What do you think the drone for here?
loved.
Right, since,
That was
right, I
awesome.
had time to correct that.
That was amazing.
I don't know how to time it.
I don't think I've seen a better fit of the horseshoe.
I think we should place that.
Yeah, because that's kind of grainy.
Yeah, that's from the play. But she died recently, so we should probably.
Well, what we could do is keep the old and the new,
Yeah,
right? Be nice to contrast to see.
so I have potential 4 people signed up, I think they want to sign up to help out with the committee.
Now, if I don't get reelected,
I'm screwed.
right? What can you do? That's,
I swear on how.
Yeah.
We can make him be, can he be the least?
I don't know if there's precedent for that or not.
Because he's next commander.
Right. It may have to more, but we'll see. I haven't even seen. Like who's running.
Nobody's running.
I think Alex is in the ballot.
You should do it. Ron, how are you? Hey, the flag needs to go back at half full mast at the back range.
Say again now,
The flag needs to go full mast. It's at half mast right now.
okay,
That's all you know, you can let Bradley know.
I could,
It's still half mast from 9/11. So it's out, yeah.
I'll mention it to somebody over there tomorrow.
So yeah, just want to let you know that your email worked perfectly. I haven't heard anything else from them. I just want to give you guys a heads up about it.
Okay, Jeff,
Video's on, but
thanks.
All right, see you guys.
Take care.
take care, Jack. So, let me tell you about what. When I was living in Chesterfield, we were in a new development. And we were the last house down at the end of the street, and there was a dirt road back into the woods back behind us. Where the developer had a special use permit to dump some stumps when he cleared lots. Fine. You see a truck go back there every once in a while. When it got to be 34 trucks a day,
Wow.
I with my supervisor, we had his SUP revoked It was the first time Chesterfield County had ever revoked this.
So there is precedent to revoke an SC four.
If they're not living up to, he was supposed to drop some stumps and stuff like that. 34 ton dump trucks a day.
Right,
That was a little.
that was a little bit much.
So we
Yeah,
had-
good. Well, that's good to know,
Had a
Mayor.
good
Thank you.
supervisor and she, we got a bunch of neighbors together and we went to a supervisor's board meeting and had his SUP pulled.
Yeah.
So it can be done.
I'll maybe later, my God, I'll have
So what were you doing up on the ladder today? Parking, your house or somebody else's?
And one of my clients out there,
Mhm.
it was that siding. But, it's another way to live it. The whole side of it is like 60 feet, I think. I got my hands all cut up. I'll send you my 30/24, so like, for like, all in a day's.
Well, at least the weather is better now
Oh.
for outdoor work, because for a while. I know, I've been working on this place that we have, and let me tell you, it's been exhausting. We did find somebody to repair the part of the barn that was collapsed, so that's taken care of, but
Good.
man, oh man, these people, they had an orchard for many years, and the junk that we have. We've had 3 dumpsters in there, and there's probably 1 more that we need.
Yeah, piles up. Yeah, we'll go on Facebook, marketplace and stuff, looking for antique appointments, you know, portables or door trim.
Right.
Anything.
Yeah,
Historical.
yeah,
And usually what it comes down to is like, we'll get all this junk out of here, cause it's a barn with like.
right,
Really nice stuff in it, and then it's
Right.
like 80 tires, you know, whatever. Get the rest of it out of here, we'll trade you. About half the time they say, yeah. Just get it gone.
there's supposed to be, I heard recently of a place in Farmville, right past, Greenfront as you're going out of town. And it's supposed to be a place that sells all kinds of doorknobs and keys and fixtures, and my friend said she needed a globe for an old oil lamp and something, couldn't find one to fit, and she went there and found it, so I guess that's the thing to do now is to scavenge and,
Things are just made better and that, you know, not made better, but.
no, the quality is better.
And they have a nicer look to them, a little
Mhm.
sturdier, and if you can make it work, it's definitely worth it.
Yeah, it's higher design
I've heard
sometimes.
So many good things about Farmville recently.
Mhm.
We've been out there, played music a couple times,
Mhm.
everybody's really nice.
Yeah, I love that town.
mean, I had never been there, you know, other than driving through it, you know, when I was a kid with my family. Might start making trips out that way. It's about.
My wife and I, we take a day trip over there into town,
Mhm.
just
It's
to,
only like 45-50 minutes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think it's 45
Yeah, I
miles.
love it. There's a
It's an
cute
easier
little
drive.
coffee shop and,
Barracks Road or, you know, I think Target in Charlottesville, that's like an hour from here.
Yeah.
Traffic.
Yeah, the furniture company over there has about 10 buildings.
yeah,
I think they added a few more.
yeah.
So that's basically most of downtown. Then they've got other furniture places there too. So that's the main.
Well, it's a university town, right? So,
Actually, they got Hampton City close by
yeah,
City in one.
yeah.
and Longwood, yeah.
With the JMU victory over UVA. My
Yeah,
sister was mad. If I'm wearing UVA.
I once picked up about, I would say at least 100 girls in one night at Longwood when it was a girls' college.
It was a teacher's college, right?
Mhm. 2 friends of mine and I, we had played a gig over in Farmville, and it was Christmas time, and of course a little alcohol was involved. And we decided we'd just stop by Longwood and see what was going on. So the three of us started singing Christmas carols, walking down the sidewalk. Well, we had some girls join us, so they said, go to this dorm. And so we went over to this dorm, we started singing. Next thing you know, these girls are
More
coming.
girls join.
Yeah, and next thing you know, we just had a crowd of people walk around the campus. In fact, it got so bad, the campus police came out. And
To break up the riotous mass.
and I said, hey, we only got one more dorm, one more song. What do you think? He said, go ahead.
Aw.
So we
Have fun.
so we had all the girls out there and never made it past it any of them. We were just singing.
Yeah. I think I still got a good chance. I don't think anyone else is running.
Oh, is this election?
Yeah, I didn't make it on the ballot,
You didn't?
so I put everything in on,
I
so
know that feeling, I got.
my license gets renewed. Or is supposed to be renewed before November 21st. So I'm like, I'll do that in October. You know, get my license, but if some of the assistant DA for Charlottesville flagged it. And then was like, oh no, that doesn't work out. They said they tried to contact me, but
You
I
hadn't
never
heard?
got a call. I don't have a voicemail set up on my cell phone. I never got an email. And so now it's all straightened out, but I don't think I'm gonna be on the ballot.
No, because you had to be on by June 21st or something.
I feel all my paperwork.
June, I had to go down in June and put in my paperwork, because they have early voting and stuff, I think.
Yeah, I did it done.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I filled everything out. So I got all the paperwork, so I should flag something and then it's
Flag your,
tried to contact me and they couldn't contact me.
I see.
I pulled
So now
up,
you're a write-in?
yep,
Yeah.
I pulled up a copy of the sample ballot and
Oh,
your name's on there. Girls did.
and who else is on there? Anybody?
Nobody.
Nobody? Okay. Well, maybe I'll get one vote.
I think so.
it should still be, yeah. That's fine. Who's expecting you?
We've got
Yeah, 30.
our representative for the school board is running unopposed. And have
Our supervisor's
supervisor
running.
running unopposed and the attorney, Commonwealth attorney is running unopposed. So that's three right there.
Wow.
Well, if I don't get elected, I'll run again. Let's see if I can get something. Yeah, this is a special election.
Oh.
My term, even though I get voted in, the term ends.
In a year.
I'll-
Well, and if,
I want a year off, but I'll take.
if you don't get it, what I was told is if, because I was appointed. If I don't get it, I don't go till January. I am out the next day.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Yep,
That
so whoever
Makes
comes in takes that slot.
So do you have to, if you, I mean, you have to, you're on for 4 years if you get elected?
Well, because we're filling terms that were prior, had prior occupants, we're finishing out the term. So it's a special election this year. And the term finishes next year. So next year we have to go on another election, is the way it works.
you see, I come up regular next year.
Yeah, because next year is a regular
Mhm.
election, right?
And of course, changing the election from May to November didn't help.
Yeah,
Get
that
confused things.
really confused things, yeah.
Yeah, I called the election officials and told them that they still showed Scottsville as a voting location. Please make some check, well, and they said, well, it's too late now. I said, well, there's all the elections in the future, because it's confusing.
I'd like to revisit we talked about at work session with the median income here. I don't know who controls that, but I'd like to make sure at least it's clarified.
Well, it's census data, right? So it's,
But for
what is it,
area-
state level then?
Or strictly
Yeah,
Borders of Scottsville.
right. Is it the town or is it 24590? Yeah, right.
Technically town business.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I don't.
I'll put it in the minutes. I have an email for you guys. I'll forward it to you. Lincoln followed up on it for me.
Well, guess we'll talk about sports.
Oh, we're not supposed to talk about the new town business.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, we're not in session now, are we?
No,
Okay,
push it.
oh, okay, we did. Well,
Did we go out of session?
We,
We went on break.
Okay.
A break. And then the next is closed session, 2 times or 1?
one,
One.
yeah,
And then follow up.
that,
That's
the
closed
council-
session 2.
Yeah. And I printed out a whole bunch for whoever's interested in doing the motion.
Okay.
Eileen, when you leave here, go to just around the corner to the DMV window. And one of the plants Marina put there is a stand.
Mhm.
And she had this 3-prong, you see them 3-prong and it's got a top on it and then you put a plant on it, She just had the metal part, the other part had deteriorated. And she took that off. And I've got a friend down in Fluvanna, he works, he loves working with wood and he's very talented, but he's a hobby, And she said she wanted a oak top made for this. The same dimensions as the other one, and the other one was round. Well, he had a pile of scrap lumber. And he said, I think this will work. And he pulled out a cutting board that a friend of his had they had a home, summer home somewhere on the Eastern Shore, and we get in the sailboat and go down to the Caribbean and come back, but big sailing bunch. This is where they called home for the summer and the boat. And this cutting board, I don't know how many pounds of fish have been on top of it, over the years, but he took that and cut a circle out of it and stained it and screwed it on, and it looks better than the original one.
Wow.
So, and it matches the chair there, so.
Oh, nice.
so,
Nice to have talented friends.
Yeah, Lord, I'll still be working on it.
Wow.
I can break it, I can't fix it.
That's my husband. He can do good. He builds good outside stuff. Like he'll build like run-in sheds and fences and small buildings and stuff like that. But he can't get the finesse of inside work, trim and,
Oh,
things like that.
I don't blame him. I had an aunt. He lived by herself. And I was living in Atlanta. I was up here about once a month. And my stepmother was still living. So between the two of them, they had always odd jobs for me when I came up on the weekend, whatever weekend. And she had just a regular old-timey carpet sweeper. It's brand new and just needed the handle screwed into it. That's simple. And then she thought she had bought a telephone when everybody had house phones that were cordless walking around with them. And she had like an atomic clock that got some kind of radio beam from somewhere. And it was supposed to be the exact time, and it would change. She got it because it would change when the times changed twice a year. Jay had changed the clock. So That was my job. That was my 3 projects. And so when I went over and picked Marina up at Odessa, we flew into Baltimore. And then we drove down to Scottsville so she could meet everybody. And we went by her house and she brought out the corpus rebuilt, and I couldn't get it screwed in because somebody else had tried to, and they stripped the thread, kept falling out. And she thought she'd bought a phone system. Well, she bought all the little satellite phones, but she didn't buy the base. So nothing worked, you know. And the satellite, the little clock, I hadn't figured out yet. I just could not get it to work. Yeah, Marina hadn't put together 4 words since I'd known her, but she didn't know any English. And so I'm driving home. And she said, Eddie, you know, fix nothing. That's the first sentence she ever said. And so I said, well, at least I'm consistent. I'm that way today, you know.
That's funny. We have a friend and he does the work for us, you know, we pay and everything, but he's this man who can fix anything. I haven't come across any problem that he cannot fix. It is a talent, you know, you have to be, it's like playing piano or any other kind of music. Not everybody can just do it, you know, it's just a God-given talent, I think.
I wish I could.
Me too.
I gotta have directions, you know. Sometimes directions don't work.
Even then, yeah, right.
Right. I think it was my second visit to Ukraine. My daughter was there. She was married and she wanted a new bed. And I went in and got a little bigger upset before because it looked like what it had. And we were supposed to put the bed together.
It's okay with everybody, I will couple us back into session.
Back in session.
Hello, how are you? Good. We are now back in public session, but we will, need a motion to go into closed session. If who wants to.
Oh, all right.
First one up there.
All right, I move that the town council enter a closed meeting as authorized in section A, Virginia Code 22.2-3701. Specifically, the subsection discuss and consider interviews of prospective candidates for employment.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Hi.
Right.